Hey, what is up, everybody? My name is NF Instrumental, and today we are back in some SculptrVR virtual reality game. They just had a new update, and I'm going to tell you all what everything was added into the game. There's quite a bit that's already in the game now, and quite a bit that's on its way, and I'm going to talk about it. I'm getting this information directly from the patch notes, and I hope that you all get the information that you all need, and you can be successful on this game whenever you update it. So the first patch that they did was actually they added a color palette that you can attach to your controller, and you can change the colors of your 16 on your little on your controller over here, and I'll sort of explain how to do that right now. So you're going to hover over one, and you're going to click in the trigger, and then it's going to bring up this palette right in front of your controller, and then you can sort of move your pen around with the trigger activated, and you can just change the color of whatever block that you want. And I'm going to change to the actual sculpting tool, and I'm going to place some blocks down. And as you can tell, it seems like there's some more depth. There's a depth of field. Now there is ambient occlusion in the graphic settings that you can include in your game to make the game, I think it looks even more beautiful than it did. Even the little squares look beautiful. And so on top of that, they also added a paintbrush. So I can change to the little paintbrush over here and say I don't want this to be green anymore. Maybe I want it to be red. So I can make a nice little green snake, nice little green and red snake here. And honestly, this is a feature that I've been wanting for quite a while, and they've implemented it so great, and I'm glad the devs are actively developing this game. I think this is a wonderful, fun multiplayer game that I'm sure that you guys that are getting HTC Vives right now are thoroughly enjoying. So let's go into the settings to sort of show off what kind of graphical settings they've added. So they have presets. Right now I have mine on custom because I've edited a few things. They have adaptive detail, which isn't new right now, which means that if you're farther away, smaller details disappear. If it's on, I can turn it off. And so if I was making a small block and I walked away, you'd still see it. The next thing is visual range, which is pretty easy to understand. It's not gonna. So if somebody was in my game and they were building out like 100 feet away, I wouldn't see them if my visual distance was on medium or low or whatever. Sampling increases the resolution sampling on your headset. So say I like bumped it up to like 250%. If I had like a GTX 1080, all this would look super detailed and it would be maxed out on my headset. They do this to optimize for games so that people of different quality PCs can run all games. They have shadows, and this is the ambient occlusion quality. I'm going to turn this up, and you can see how pretty it looks. And it gives it some shading. Honestly, I prefer low. I don't know about you, but I prefer low. I like the way it looks. And they also have bloom on, which I'm not exactly sure what does. I apologize. But it's blooming everywhere. All right, so another thing that they have, this isn't new to this week's update, but it was in last week's update. They have fog. So they have spooky, silent hill, it's off, light, and normal. So currently, I like to have it on spooky to give it sort of an ominous feel. And then I'm going to go over here and change to my sculpting brush. And I'm going to make a little caterpillar Joe here. Oh no, what just happened? I just opened up my Caterpillar Joe. And I'm going to change it to my paintbrush. Ironically enough, the paintbrush actually looks like the game from Painty. I don't know if that was on purpose, but the brush definitely looks like it's from Painty. If you haven't seen that game, it's really funny. I actually don't own it right now, but it's a good game. Another tool, if you didn't know I haven't done update videos, but if you're only watching SculptrVR videos from my channel, they added a cylinder tool, which you can like hold out and it'll create a cylinder in the direction that you're making it in, and then as well as a square tool, which is pretty much just like a grid line, and you can click and drag. And then as well as you can make the block smaller and you can actually make cubes. So if you want any sort of square size, you can do that. And it's pretty easy to do as well. Another thing they did is they sort of changed up the texture, like the model for the rocket. I think it matches the style a little bit better, makes it a whole lot cuter and a lot more fun for SculptrVR. It definitely matches the style a little bit better, and Caterpillar Joe is now gone. And then for those of y'all that are playing SculptrVR and don't know what this block is, this is an emitter block, and pretty much the way it works is if you are a certain size and you use, instead of increasing the size, if you scroll up on your touchpad, you can't see me doing it right now, but I'm scrolling up on my touchpad, it increases the velocity of the emitter, and so I can have it either just barely falling off, or I can have it pretty much shooting out like this. So just a little quick tip, so in case you didn't know that, that's how the emitter works. So guys, I hope you all enjoyed this quick informational video on past SculptrVR updates. I know I haven't done a whole lot of VR recently, but a lot of updates are coming out for some of my favorite games in VR, so expect a whole lot more VR content. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.